I see some names on that board. I guess we ought to go to them, huh? Just kind of looking at one, just going, ooh, do I really want to talk to this guy? Charles is next.
Yeah, you want to talk to me, Paul? Sure you do. This is Iron Bowl week, man. We got to get it on. You know what, Paul? How far is Alabama going to drop when Auburn beats them Saturday?
It won't matter because they'll be done. It doesn't matter where their poll number is. Their season will be over.
You got to think about it, Paul. Alabama's going to come out there tied and Dixie's hat band. Auburn's going to come out there relaxed.
Hey, Charles, do you know how long it's been since Auburn's won 2 in a row against Alabama?
Listen, Paul, you always go back to the past. I'm talking about Saturday night when Auburn beats the Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa. And Auburn going to have bragging rights for 365 days a year. And whatever score Auburn beats them by, say 34-31. Every time I call
Charles, have you enjoyed the bragging rights? I mean, this has been a great year for you, hasn't it?
Huh?
This has been one of the greatest years of your life, hasn't it?
It's going to be when Auburn beats Alabama Saturday night. It's going to be the worst year of your life because all you've talked about this year is Alabama and Nick Saban going to be number one. What are you going to talk about next year, Paul? You got all 365 days to talk about something next year. What are you going to talk about? You going to talk about Auburn, huh? And Gus Malzahn?
Huh?
What you going to talk about, huh?
Huh?
Answer my question. What you going to talk about next year? All you've talked about this year is Alabama and Nick Saban. You're going to have to come up with another subject. You may have to start talking about Auburn and the Auburn Tigers. You know it?
In the last 4 or 5 weeks, Charles, I haven't really found too much to say about Auburn.
Well, you're going to have to start finding something because they're going to beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl, and next year you're going to have to talk about them.
Okay, Charles, I think you've said the same thing now about 9 times. You want to say it again?
What?
I don't know. What do you think I'll talk about next year if Auburn wins the game?
Well, that's your problem, ain't mine. I ain't making millions of dollars on that show talking about Alabama and Auburn. You're going to have to come up with something else to talk about.
You both know what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about the fact that Gus Malzahn has beaten Nick Saban twice.
Yeah, we're going to have to get that Colin Cowherd. Remember what Colin said last year, that Gus would own Nick Saban. He'd win back-to-back national championships.
Every day, I guarantee you that. And I am. When Auburn beats them 34-31, whatever it is, I'm tired of that 59-0, 34-7, Charles. I'm going to say 34-31, fine, bam. You're going to hear that every time I call in. You're going to get sick of Charles from Reeltown. I'm going to call in and brag for 365 days.
I'm going to get sick of Charles from Reeltown.
And all you can do about it, Paul, is stand up and tell you like a man.
We already sick of you, you old fool. You old idiot. We already sick of you. I done beat you down 40 times this last year. You want 41 coming up? Man, what do you keep running that mouth at Paul for? You ain't no authority on football, man. Why don't you shut up, Charles?
I think he ran away, Jim.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But by the way, Jim, I want to personally thank you for running him off.
Well, I beat him down so bad, Paul, about 4 months ago. You remember that because you made note of it.
I'll make note of this, too.
He showed the first sign of a brain when he ran for me just now.
No, he did. I mean, he cowered like a wet puppy dog.
Okay, I'll use this time for something more constructive. When's the beauty queen coming on? She's supposed to be on about.
I think she's up next. Yeah.
Up next. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Brooke Fletcher, Miss Georgia, USA, upcoming. Is she going to be in the studio with you?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm really considering taking that sidekick job just to save the show, Paul. You hear me, Paul?
I hear you.
Jim, I'm talking to you.
Oh, Charles is back. By the way, Jim, Charles is back.
I know. I hear the old. You want me to beat you down again, you old imbecile? I beat you down 4 months ago so bad I felt bad about it.
All you do is call in. You don't know nothing about football. You never play no sport. You called in, you're a folk. Fake, you're a phony. You nothing.
Much
you're
nicer
nothing but a lying jackass. That's what you are, Straight Jacket Jim.
You're the old phony. You're an old phony. You came on the show 5 or 6 years ago and tried to run your mouth about country boy blank whipping. Country boy blank whipping. You can't whip a flea, Charles. You're an old idiot. You're an old idiot.
I can whoop you, Straight Jacket Jim. I can tear you down anytime I want to. On the radio, in person, it does not matter to me. I'm the great Charles from Real Fan. You ain't the greatest call on this show. I am. I've been a caller of the year. What have you ever been? You ain't never.
You just run that stupid mouth, boy. You just run that stupid mouth, old man.
Nobody even knows what you
You are a dummy. You are a dummy, Charles. You prove it every time you call the show. Every time.
Every time what? Is that all you say?
So I said every time you call the show. But you know what, Charles? I do. And Paul is too. We're both entertained by your idiocy. Look at Paul. He's sleeping now. Paul laying back asleep. I'm giving Paul the first sign of rest he's had. We're giving Paul rest right now.
Yeah, I know it. I tell you what, I'm giving you rest, because I ain't going to let you talk, because you ain't got nothing to talk about. You don't talk about a dad blame thing, but call in and try to beat somebody down. You don't know nothing about sports. You never played no sports. You're lying. You're a
fake. Charles, that's a lie. I'm a top flight athlete, believe me.
You liar.
No, well, I don't have to brag. People that know.
I don't know.
Oh, man, this is crazy.
Okay, guys. Charles. Okay. So, are you both still there?
You're asleep, Paul. I'm looking at you on the TV.
Since I slept, hold on, guys.
Man, don't you say, Jacket?
Since I slept during that.
You old
dumb fool. You just get on here and bat your mouth. You have nothing.
Back to the corners, boys. Back to the corners, boys.
Hold on, guys.
You're a stupid old man.
Oh, why don't you learn how to be a caller? Listen to Charles from Real Time.
Okay, thank you both, gentlemen. We're moving on. We have things to do. How can I get rid of these guys? I can't answer that question, but Mark asked me who would I declare the winner. I slept during that. So, John, did you hear most of it, or were you out too?
Yes, I'll declare a winner. Charles from Real Town. I mean, obviously that's what I was going to say. And there will be no rematch, by the way. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Way to go, Charles.
Daryl is next.